Welcome! In the last video, we made our landing section responsive. In this one, we'll be working on the About Us section. We'll be making these little cards, and this will be fully responsive in this one video because this can be solved rather quickly using flex wraps. So with that being said, let's get started. So back here at our HTML code, I first decided to change up the navbar so that the about comes second and only then the project section. We'll have to do this in two places. So coming back here, we've changed the layout. And coming down to our code, under the home section, we'll make a section for our about page. So it's going to be the class about. Inside this, there will be an about text section. And in this one, we'll have the title, about us. This will have the ID highlighted. And we'll also have an introductory h3. And inside this one, I'll simply copy this code that I've written. You can write here whatever you want. And there is the here is what we offer section inside this span that is going to be with the ID highlighted. Under the about text section, we'll make a cart container. And in the cart container, we'll have 3 or 4 cards. It doesn't really matter. For me, it's going to be 3. So a wrapper for our card. And inside our card, we'll have an icon, a title, and description. So a wrapper for our icon. An h3 title. With the class card title. And as for the last part, we'll have a paragraph with the class description. And as for the icon, we'll be using font of some to get our icons. You can do that by coming up to the web and typing font of some. Here you'll have to register, and after registering to the site, you'll be greeted with the easy installation steps. So we have to grab this piece of code and put it into our head section like this. And this will enable us to use the font of some icons that we want to use. Coming back and coming to the icons, we can choose what category we want to browse icons in. I'll choose coding. And inside this, you can grab your icons by clicking the button here, and it will copy the import. So here you can choose what framework you'd like to work in. For us, it's going to be just the HTML. I'll copy this and come back here and paste it to the card icon section. So if I refresh the page now, you'll be able to see here is our icon. It's black and it's not styled. The whole section isn't styled yet. So the next thing that we're gonna do is jump right onto our CSS to style everything. So above our media queries, we'll make the about selector. We'll set its background color to be a different one. We'll set its width to take up the whole given area. Its display should be flex. The direction of it should be a column. And we'll simply align everything to the center. So justify content center, align items center, and text align center as well. Then we'll style our about text. Its width should be 70 viewport with units. Its display should also be flex. The flex direction column as well. We'll justify the content to the center and align everything to the center as well. Oh yes, and here in the about section, let's set the color to be white. So then let's style the cart container. In the cart container, we'll set the display to be flex. The flex direction should be row. We'll justify everything to the center. And we'll use a flex wrap this time, flex wrap and wrap. There should be a gap between the items, 50 pixels in this example, and a margin of 20 pixels. Now continuing on with the card elements. Their display should also be flex. The flex direction will be a column. We'll justify everything to the center. The max width of a card should be 300 pixels. The padding will be 20 pixels. The border radius should be 40 pixels. And we'll set a background color, but this is going to be a gradient background color. So I just copy paste this. It's going to come from the top to the bottom. Next, we'll make our card icon. The font size should be 50 pixels. The line height should be 80 pixels. The width should be 80 pixels as well, along with its height. The margin should be 0, auto, so that it's in the middle, and 20 pixels. We should round it with a border radius of 20 pixels. And we'll give it a box shadow of 0, 0, so it's not offset either in the vertical or in the horizontal axis. 5 pixel with shadow with some opacity in it, so it's gonna be an RGBA like this. And last, the card title. We'll set its width to be 300 pixels. The padding should be 10 pixels on the top, 0 on the sides. We'll set its color and background color. The font size should be 18 pixels. The font weight, this should be 600. And the text transform will be uppercase. So no matter what you type there, it will always be uppercase. Alright, let's save this. Have a look at our code. Here it is. I've accidentally copied another one of the cards. As you can see, there is an icon. And back to our index.html. This is the card that I've copied. This is wrong. I'll come quickly and copy paste the icons that I have for these. Alright, so I just quickly wrap this up. I've set the icons, I've chosen them wherever I wanted to. Now if we refresh, there is our about section. And if I press F12 and check the responsivity, we'll start in the large view, start shrinking it, and it's going to wrap around. So the grid elements will always be wrapped. And this is how it's going to look like. Alright, so that's it for this one. We've made our about section and lay it out nicely. It's also going to be responsive, so we don't have to worry about that. And in the next one, we'll be working on our project section. With that being said, I'll see you in the next one.